Hello. Okay.
All right, we're live. You should be able to see yourself on your phone, on the phone, on YouTube.
Not yet.
No,
No.
it just let me know that I was up on
Okay.
my phone.
I'm touching the live chat, top chat.
No, what you're gonna do is touch my. You're in my channel.
Okay. Here it go. There it just went on. Just went.
Okay.
Uh huh. Okay. I am ready.
Okay. You'll start seeing people when you come in. It should have automatically came up on the live, and you're gonna start seeing people enter into the room.
Okay.
All right. And when I see people start entering into the room, we're going
Hmm.
to start talking. So just wait a second. That's all.
Okay. We're good. Okay.
Hmm. Oh, you know what? X out. Hit the thumbs up button on there and then go back in where it says live.
Okay. It says two watching now. Is that
Right. The two are me and you right now.
okay? Good enough. So
All
you want
right.
to close the program?
No, I just want
Okay.
you to X out where it shows on the phone on the right.
Okay. Now hit the X. Mm-hmm.
All right. Now you're going to thumbs up the video. See
Okay.
where it says like?
Yep.
That
Mm-hmm.
means thumbs up. Now
Got it.
hit where it says live chat.
Live chat. Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we're gonna wait for people to come in, and they'll be coming in. They're gonna see it because they're gonna get flagged right now. They're gonna get an alert.
Hmm. Okay.
So we'll give it like a few minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and really like maybe 2 minutes. If not, we'll just talk, and they'll come in on it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I had to mute that for a minute.
Mm.
I told everybody what I was about to do. Now they all want to come in and start talking.
Mm. Okay.
So, yeah, come on, folks, come on. And we're just gonna wing it naturally, and we'll wait a few minutes. Okay, 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 okay. Did you see the posting that I posted
No,
on my page?
no, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Did you tag me? Okay.
I don't know if I tagged you or not. Okay. Hi Shay, how are you? Welcome to the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the live. I'm fixing my mic here.
Mm-hmm. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir. I can hear you clearly.
Okay.
Where
Fantastic.
if you read your phone,
Okay.
she's saying hello to you. She said hello, Mr. Dan.
Hello. How are you? I'm not seeing. Okay, I see now. Okay.
It's like it's a short delay, but you'll see people communicating with you.
Oh, okay. So now I see where it is too. We are good.
Uh-huh.
How you doing? It's Shay, correct? Yeah, Shay
Yeah,
Johns. Got it.
right.
Uh,
Shay.
I don't have to break out some glasses in here. Anyway. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Can you turn it sideways too, or how does it work?
Whatever I don't care what you do on your phone. Just
No, no,
don't touch your iPad.
no, no. I got you on that. All right. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Can you on your phone?
Yeah, it did. It did go sideways, but it's okay.
Oh, okay. So
I.
Shay, you're on time. Everybody else isn't. Did you
Mhm.
get the alert, Shay? Did it give you the alert notice or no?
Okay. Uh, All right. Wow, this is exciting.
She responded back to you.
Yes. Yes. I'm glad to hear you're well. And yes, she got the alert.
Okay, great. Well, Shay, I guess you're going to get the earful because everybody else hasn't come in yet, and it is what it is. Well, everyone, thank you for TR's Cafe, where we sit and we talk about different issues that are happening in today's life.
Mhm.
And as we all know, we all have been quarantined or locked down during this pandemic. And as you can see, I have Mr. Dan Shiver, who is an entrepreneur. He has his own real estate business for like over 35 years, maybe 30
Well,
years.
not quite, but
Close
um,
enough, huh?
but
Go ahead
I
and
have been
tell the
publicly.
story, Dan. Dan is like Nadia. Nadia says she's only 28. Dan says he's only 26.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I
But
guess he
what?
inherited his he inherited his self's business. Hey, cool Gent 87. Thank you for
Hey,
joining our live here.
hmm.
Sit down and have a seat. Dan Shiver can see your comments and or your questions, but if you can wait until after each, so we can catch all to be able to answer, kind of wait a little bit. Thank you, Shay, for sharing. Okay, Dan is, like I said, an entrepreneur. He has his own real estate business in his hometown for several years. He's also a professional DJ,
Hmm.
and he is the CEO of Soulful House Nation, where he is building a strong empire in the soulful house music arena. I will say because it's a very large arena. So, welcome, Dan, to TR's Cafe. Dan and
Well,
I have been knowing each other for quite some time. Hi, Nadia. Welcome to the live.
hmm.
And people are starting to pour in right now.
Right.
And what we start to begin. Well, for one, as like you said, oh, yes, he's also a radio host. He has his own radio show, and that's on oh god, Gyroscope Radio, internet radio, and his radio show is called Soulful House Nation. All right, so could you just briefly tell the people a little bit about yourself, Dan?
Okay, so one of the things that I'm most proud of is I'm born and raised in Paterson, New Jersey. And I like to tell people that all the time because this is a great, great city. Matter of fact, I chose Paterson, and I could do a lot of different things, but I just love this place. And I went to Eastside High School and graduated from there, graduated from Seton Hall. Background, I have a bachelor's in psychology, and I took my minor, my electives in business. So I've been I worked in corporate America for a little while, but for the most of my life, I've been self-employed. And I think that started very, very young because as a kid, I was in grammar school and I was selling school supplies and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So my background is entrepreneurial. And I'm very, very happy about that. And right now I have three businesses, uh, but I do three things. It's real estate, music slash DJing, and volunteer work. Now, on the real estate side, I sell real estate also too. I'm an investor. I'm looking for properties all the time personally, and for the people that I work with. On the music side, I do parties. We have small stuff, large stuff, light shows, video screens, whatever you want. And then also on the music side, I do a thing called Soulful House Nation. And the last thing I do is volunteer work, and I do that with Rotary and our local chamber. So that's a little bit about me. All right.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought you were gonna go on because I was like, we have New Zealand in the house. So just to let you
Okay.
know
All
that if
right.
you look, we have painting houses, and
Mhm.
he's from New Zealand.
Hey,
We
New
have
Zealand. Right.
Nadia, who's from New Jersey.
Hmm.
Jasmine 28, which is our Jeremy, who we call our little brother. I don't know what state Jeremy's from, but we also have Shay. Shay is from Arizona.
Hmm.
And Jeremy, where are you? What is your state? Jeremy is also a DJ. He
Oh,
DJs.
fantastic.
Yes, yes. He's also a DJ. He DJs here on YouTube. He just that once he plays it, when he's done, he doesn't save it. So you hear him live, and when he's done, it cuts off, and that's it. So that way he doesn't get any strikes. Oh, Jeremy's from New York,
Okay.
and right now he's living in Rhode Island now.
Okay.
And Nadia's hometown is Patterson.
All right,
She's
Patterson.
also a ghost, Silk City.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Silk City,
Yeah,
P-Town.
just like you and I.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, well, our governor here in New Jersey is talking, our governor Murphy
Right.
here in New Jersey, he's a little nervous about allowing businesses to open up as usual. And
Right.
a lot of the states now are opening up small shops, which I'm not in agreement with. They're opening up nail salons,
Okay.
barber shops, bowling alleys, restaurants, stuff that's like you're really taking a chance. Excuse
Right.
me, I have to adjust myself in this chair, guys, with my back.
Mhm.
And apparently, Governor Murphy is not down with this.
Mhm.
He really feels that reopening can cause blood on their hands. And
Mhm.
he's really not comfortable in it. And it's not something that I heard, it's something that I read. Okay, that's why I was like, wow, he is woke regarding the situation.
Mhm.
And there are a lot of politicians that are woke regarding this situation, and they're not allowing I don't even want to say the greed for money, but I feel it's a setup. Because for one, they're giving a lot of us people, when I say people, I say people of color, although it's across the spectrum that everybody, doesn't matter what race or color you are, that you're getting a stimulus check. But a lot of people, the way they think, as soon as they get their stimulus check after being cooped up in the house, right away they want to go get their haircuts, they want to get their hair done, they want to get their nails done, they want to go out to dinner, they want to do things that jeopardize their life, and that's not cool. All right. And I know that you're a business owner and you have several businesses, but can you tell me and the people that are in here, with you being an entrepreneur, and this is your living. There's nothing else that you do. It's not like you work for anyone. This is a
Right.
business that you have.
Mhm.
How it's affecting your business?
Okay. So,
Yeah, the shutdown.
all right. So, okay, on the business side of things, it's having a very, very strong impact. Okay, I'm going to start with the on the DJing and the parties. All my parties are gone. Period. Period. Period.
Oh
I
yeah, because
repeat. I,
graduations and proms are like that's gone.
listen. Listen. All the parties and the events that I had scheduled up till now are gone. I don't know when that changes. Now, that may change, even if the governor said, okay, let's go, everything's open, we're wide open. It doesn't mean that the individuals who hired me will feel, okay, no problem, let's go. It doesn't mean that the people who book the events will say, okay, no problem, let's go. it doesn't mean that the people who would work in those environments ordinarily will be, okay, let's go. So that's the first challenge. The second challenge is, this is I'm standing on the music entertainment side. I do this thing called Soulful House Nation. So what that's meant is that from the perspective of bringing people in the studio, that's over for the foreseeable future. So now everything has to be done either by video or phone. Okay. Then let's go talk about the events. Part of being the head person of Soulful House Nation, which is my weekly radio show, means that I was going out several times a week, covering events, meeting people, making connections, making relationships, setting up interviews, et cetera, and interacting with people. That's done. And who knows when that's gonna resurface. And the other part of it is, let's pretend they said, okay, let's go. How many people are going to come out? We don't know yet. We don't know if they say, okay, we're going to have a limited opening. Now let's say 10 people. Then maybe let's say 50. Maybe say 100. Maybe they say you got to maintain certain social distance. I don't know how you're going to do that when you're supposed to be dancing. You understand? I don't know how you can do that when you're going out for drinks and to restaurants. Maybe a little bit easier, the table apart. But I think it's a little trickier in bars, when especially people come to the counter, to bar
to order.
To the bar, to the bar to order. If you got that's a little trickier. Now, also, if you talk about social distance, I'm having that in my mind here. Social distancing. Now, let's talk about barbershops and hair salons and all those like up close and personal things. I don't know how they're going to handle that. I don't know how a barber, a nail salon, or
a bowling alley.
Yeah. I don't know how you're gonna do that. Now, for me, well, let me just finish the other platform. Okay, on the real estate side, what has happened is many of the residential showings have slowed down to almost nothing because people don't want to let you in the house. And I understand it. Now, investors will come out. But one of the challenges investors are having, and the reason because that's their living. So when people sell, most people, let me rephrase that. Many people don't have their back against the wall. And they want to move now because it's a good time. But at the same time, if they have to wait a couple months, most people can manage that until things calm down and they're okay with letting people in their houses, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, now, here's the other side of it too. Lenders are changing their criteria. For example, you have some lenders who in the past have had low down payment programs which would allow people with lesser of a down payment to get in, are saying, no, we got to have this much higher down payment. Also, we got to have a much higher credit score. So automatically, that's going to knock down the number of people that can qualify. Now,
why is that? So wait a second. Why is that?
Okay, watch this. Let's say you're talking FHA. FHA, which is a low down payment program. It's a HUD-backed program, which is housing and urban development. Now, right now, the way that it's say 3.5% down. So let's take $100,000. Just use that for a number. $100,000. Now I need 3.5% down, or $3,500 to buy, and then I can finance the closing costs or most of the closing costs. Now, change the criteria, and let's say my credit score had to be 600. Now, if you say, okay, now instead of having 3.5% down, you have 20% down. Now that means a person has to have $20,000 as opposed to $3,500. Now, right there, can you see how that could cause a problem or challenge for a lot of people? Okay, here's the second part of it. Let's talk about the credit score. Say before we could make a transaction happen at 600. But if you raise the credit score to 640, 660, 680, whatever that number is, then again, the higher you go up, the less and less people qualify. So the challenge is, in the short term, is what's going to happen? How long are we going to stay in this situation? Because if you continue doing that, then inevitably there's going to be a slowdown in the real estate market based on that happening. That's what I see. Now, that's on those scenarios, on those different things. Now, what it's meant for me is I've had to make hiring decisions. I've had to make financial decisions. I've had to do a lot of things that if you talked to me 2 months ago, I didn't see it coming, like a lot of people. So those are just some of the things that are on the table right now.
So that being said, that also with people losing their jobs, is that the reason why that the scale went up so high?
Okay, so let's talk about that for a minute. That's not necessarily the reason why the numbers went up. The numbers went up because people who are lending money are concerned that if they don't get people with certain qualifications, it's going to be tougher to get that money back and get paid. Now, let's talk about the reality of the situation. What's happening now, too, is that people who are being funded are getting delayed in midstream. So in other words, we're supposed to close on this date, but now we can't close till that date. Now that pushes all the money back. And or in some cases, the lenders stopped lending in midstream. So they said, no, we can't do the loans anymore. Or if you got laid off and you're in contract to purchase the property, now they're checking a few days before to make sure you're still working. And if you're not working, the transaction's dead. So that's some of the stuff that's going on right now, which is it's really hurting a lot of people because let's say, when you make a move, you usually have plans 3-6 months out. And you've got maybe what you're doing on the other side, you've made commitments, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and now you can't perform. So let's say I'm buying a property and I already made a commitment to buy your property. Now I get laid off. I can't close. Now I can't move ahead with my property with you. You can't move ahead with what you were doing. You see how all that kind of, so that's.
Yeah. And not only that, what about the ones who did just purchase the property? Now they may have a problem meeting the mortgage.
That's another scenario. So, but one of the things that they do is they make sure you have some reserve money, but that does not mean that just because you had that little reserve money, that now you're in shape. Let's say you went out and committed, you got the house, you set up, you're lovely, but you didn't buy the furniture because you didn't need to create a bill while you're in the process of buying. So now, you see what I'm saying? So all this stuff is all connected, and what we're hoping happens is that we get back to work and back to grinding sooner than later. Now, there's one other part to it. I think the most intelligent thing you can do is follow the data. That's it.
So how do you feel about the fact that that if people if they do open up, as far as health goes, how do you feel about the fact that these places opening up that could take a chance on other people's lives?
That's a real challenge. You asked me a question, and I had a chance to think about it all week. And the question was along the lines, do you feel if they open it up that they would have blood on their hands if something happened? And I really struggled with that question. From the standpoint of being an entrepreneur, because the sooner things get open, the sooner I can start to make some real money. You understand what I'm saying? Not to say you can't make money now. Had I known, I would have bought Zoom. Had I known, I would have invested in toilet paper. Had I known, More Uber. Had I known, more DoorDash. Had I known, I would have bought up. Well, these cats just got some trouble with all that distance. I mean, the Lysol or whatever they bought. Not Lysol. The hand sanitizers. Had I known, I'd have bought. You understand what I'm saying? So even
You would
though
invest it in mask, right?
I would invest in that, but I mean, 2 months ago, who saw this coming? You know. So
Right, 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 right.
but you got to follow the data, and then as an entrepreneur, you have to. There's certain things that you have to do. There's certain things, like for example, I have to come out because I have to get the mail. What am I going to do? Now, more and more stuff I can do electronically, but I can't get the mail electronically. So I gotta get that. We got stuff going.
Yeah, there's still things that still have to come in through the regular mail system that you can't rely on electronically. You actually have to have it with a stamp, a seal, and a raised seal and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
What if
that's
you have to? Yeah, what if you
part.
have to walk a dog? I mean, I'm not saying that people haven't found other ways, because I have some buddies who say what they're doing their dog is they're teaching them to go on some kind of, I don't know, a mat or whatever they call it.
Yeah,
And
the doggy, the pooper doggy mat. Yes, I know what you're talking
yes,
about.
right. But a lot of people, that's not an option. You know what I mean? So what if you're in a dog walking business? You understand? So I mean, so like I say, I think that you got to follow the data. That's the bottom line. Then the question becomes, can you minimize the impact of what's going on? Can you find out little pockets where it's not going to be so much of an issue? And again, I don't know the answer to that. Now, again, just go back to that question you asked me. I really thought about that, blood on your hands. And I said to myself, I said, if you open everything up, you create an environment where things can happen. But at the same time, you as an individual you have to make a decision. You have to say, you know what? I heard what they said, but
But
am I going to go out? Am I going to go to the beach? Like they just opened up in Florida, go to the beach. They opened up in Georgia. Now, you can decide whether or not you're going to, for example, like with a guy, go to a place to get your hair cut, or go pull out a razor and do your thing, or just let your hair grow. You have to decide whether or not, okay, I heard you said the beaches are open, but the kid ain't going until I feel a certain. Now, I tell you right now, let's say they open up the movie theaters tomorrow. Dan Shiver's not going to the movie theater. Now, so I'm just saying, I'm saying that I don't know if the thing is would they have blood on their hands, but I do say to you that at some level, you got to act with wisdom and decide for yourself whether you're going to take what they're saying as the gospel, or are you going to say, you know what, I'm not comfortable with that yet. That's my thought on that.
okay, so your thought on that is like, because of you being an entrepreneur, it's tricky for you because you want your business to thrive, but you don't want to put people at risk with their lives either.
All right. This morning I got I tested myself, and one of the things I've been doing in this, I'm going to say, this downtime, so to speak, is I just been calling people just to check in with them. And it's not necessarily a real estate call, although people know what I do and they want to talk real estate, which is fine. But I was talking to a buddy of mine who I've known for many years, and you know him too. And he was saying, Dan, I took the test. I tested positive. He says, Dan, I didn't feel a thing. I still feel fine. So here's the thing with that. So from that standpoint, we don't know what would happen down the road if this thing is going to go hard with him. Number one, and number two, even if it doesn't go hard with him, and he's a carrier, and he's infecting people who maybe don't have the immune system that he has, or it's not here. So, like I say, these are kind of things that are very, very tricky, and that's why I say, even though like I'm losing money, I'm I want to follow the data for the for our society, for our world, our communities, and then also too for me, for my family, etc. So that's how I see it.
Right. But also a lot of people think that Miss Rona won't knock on their door.
Yeah,
They
okay.
really think that Miss Rona will not knock on their door. And
Hmm.
I was reading and here in New Jersey just before we came on live
Hmm.
that a woman lost 8 family members to Miss Rona.
Wow,
8.
wow.
8 within 2 months. 8. And that's crazy. That is I
Right.
can't even phantom losing one behind Miss Rona. And a lot of people think that Miss Rona's not gonna knock on their door. And look, I'm for one that can say, yes, it did knock on my door.
Well, listen, I know 7 people directly that passed away. I
Behind she knocking on their door.
Yes, and I know 6 people who got it. I know through people that I know that I didn't know directly, it had to easily be 20 plus. So this is serious stuff. But I think we talked about this the other night. And here's the challenge, all right? And let's pretend right now there was a guy out here building a boat, and he said, hey, listen, guys, you better get out of the boat because it's going to rain for 40 days and 40 nights. And guess what? Everybody's not in the boat. It's dead in the water.
They didn't believe it was gonna rain until the
and then
rain came.
and
Yeah.
then 40 days and 40 nights, and then on top of that, kill everyone. Did not believe it. Did not
Uh-huh.
believe it. So they walked past this for years and years and years, and he's banging away with the
Yeah,
family.
it took 100 years for him to build that
100,
boat.
yeah, 100 plus years. So you got to know that people said, "Get out of here," because they didn't think it could come knocking on their door. And you know what? And to be fair, in the beginning, it's not that I didn't think it was serious, but I didn't like. I'm much more on it now. Put it that way. I'm much more on it now. So, um, so again, I go back to this guy that was building this boat for 100 plus years, and all these people could have gotten on the boat, and they decided they weren't going to get on the boat. And then when it started raining, they was like, even in the beginning, they probably said, oh, it's just raining. Oh, it's been raining a week. It's been raining 2 weeks. But when it started getting, wait a minute,
It started
26,
storming. It started
27,
storming.
28, 29,
And then the rain started
33.
coming down real hard. Then they were like, whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute. By that time, the boat was already full and there was no room.
Hey, listen, they had already taken off. The boat was out of the dock.
Right,
So
right, right. It was floating on the water by then. Yeah.
so not the same thing, but hopefully you can see the analogy there. Anyway.
Yes, 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 yes. And not only that, with the Sofa House Nation, the
Right.
empire that you are building, that people don't, even with that, it's a real bummer because people that was involved with Sofa House music,
Mm-hmm.
they use that as an outlet to break away. And I'm telling you, people, it would be thousands of people showing up at this event.
Right, right,
Am I
right.
correct, Dan?
Yes, ma'am.
Thousands. And
Right.
now it's like, and a lot of most of these events were free events.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And when I say thousand, I'm not talking about like just 1,000. Give it a ballpark the most, Dan.
Well, put it this way. So last year we did Jersey City. We just started. It's like maybe the second year we did that. We were over 2,000 people. But now you have events out here that have as many as 30,000 plus come over a couple over 2 days,
Mm-hmm.
which is like so that's big. Now the biggest one really in the world in terms of soulful house music is the one they do in Chicago, the Chosen Few. There they get 35, 40,000 people come out. So it's
Mm-hmm.
a big deal. And it's
Mm-hmm.
gone. It's like, as a matter of fact,
All those events, and we're talking about money making. We're talking about all these people that make money at these events. It's like it's
God,
gone. It's
God.
gone unless it's all been canceled until next year. Am I correct?
Well, for the foreseeable future, I want to say that only because there's a potential as we get the data shows that hey, listen, we're okay to do something. But even if that happens, I'm not sure they're gonna say okay, you can go from 10 people to 5,000 people. It might be 10 to okay, you can get groups of 50, groups of 100, whatever. I don't know. So it could be next year. I mean, personally, because you know we were going to do this thing in Patterson the first time ever. So personally, we're talking next year to even start that
And
conversation.
not only that, would the city allow it? Would the mayor allow it in that town?
I like I say, even if they did, like I said, I'm not willing to go running right out there and endanger me and also endanger the people that would come out to support the event. Because you know, when you do these events, you not only have a responsibility to you and what you're doing and your team or whatever, but you know, you also too are reaching out to the public, you're involved in the community, and you want them as safe as possible. So again, so for all the things that I'm involved in, what we were doing, we're talking next year. We're talking 2021.
Yeah, because all you need, even at a as doing a party,
Right.
all you need is for someone to say that they got Miss Rona,
Right.
and then they sue you because they say they got it from where you were at.
Right. Right. And you know what?
Although they will make the choice to come out to the event or not. But if Miss Rona knocks on their door, they could say they got it from the event, and there you go.
You know, and you know what? What are you gonna do? Have everybody sign a waiver saying if you get Miss Rona, oh, you guys, would you guys get in line? We got to sign the waivers before you come in here. You know, there's a possibility Miss Rona may be coming through. She may visit. If she does, if you get her here or you meet up with her here, she comes. We want to make sure that you're covered on your end. We're covered on our. Please, you know
That's
what?
not gonna
From my,
happen.
from my perspective, we're talking next year. We're talking 2021. So, yeah, that's how I see it. Now, that's not. I'm not saying it's everybody because some people, if they give the words to go, they're on. But other people, you know, plus you're sitting there, and you know, you don't have money coming in. Meanwhile, the bills are running. They're running. Matter of fact, if you think nobody cares about you, try missing a few payments. Let me tell you something. Uh, uh, Miss TR, did you forget something? Mr. Dan, Mr. Shiver, did you forget something? Hey, DJ Dan, what's going on over there? Ah,
Yeah,
please,
yeah.
you
Because
know,
the
and
bills, just like with people are getting confused. They're saying that a lot of people will postpone payment. If you got a service, they're not wavering the payment. They're not saying that you don't have to pay. If you
right.
got the service, you have to pay. It's just that they're postponing. And people are spending money like the stimulus check. When they get the stimulus check, believe me, them Asian stores are going to be open for the nails and for the hair because the women they want their wigs and their hair and their hair weave instead of doing their own hair. You
Well,
know, they it's like, well, I'm one of them because I don't do my hair. You know
okay,
me, I slip on a new hat, or in the summertime, which I do go to the barber, and I'll shave it all off. I'll cut it doggone near bald and take it all off. But if I had to, because Miss Rona knocked on my door, I
Mm-hmm.
know what it felt like. I know what it brought me through, and it's a blessing that I survived it, because a lot of people can confess that
Right.
if push come to shove, I will have to learn how to do my own hair. I will have to,
Mm-hmm.
even if I don't do nothing but wet it and put some Vaseline or something on it, brush it back, put it in a ponytail, and go. You
Mm-hmm.
know, every time we walk out the house, we have to have a mask on.
Right,
I
right.
read a few minutes ago too, while I was killing time, the N95 they believe helped have somebody crash. How is that? Because the N95 mask has like a little disc hole in it so you could breathe.
Mm-hmm.
They believe the guy wasn't getting the proper oxygen,
Mm-hmm.
and he had an accident. He passed out and had an accident on the road.
Mm.
Now I don't know if it was a made in China fake N95 or the real 95, but regardless, the mask they want to have the mask where you can't breathe anything in. So it's like if it's sealed all the way, how do you breathe with this thing being over you? So
Mm-hmm.
it's all a catch-22. It's a new way, a new norm we're gonna have to adjust to.
Well,
And but I want to give some shout outs for the support that's here. And then I'm going to start from the very beginning, guys. Shay, I thank you for your support and modding for me. Cool Gent 87, once again, thank you for coming. Nadia, thank you so much for the support, and she's also my mod. I thank you for that. She says hello, Dan. Painting Houses is still here.
hey.
Yeah, from New Zealand. I thank you for the support. Jazz and N28 is which we call our little brother Jeremy. He's a DJ. Couldn't wait for this because he was excited to hear that you were a DJ.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see who else is here. I think I see Melissa Scott. Thank you for joining. And they're all saying hello. Now,
Hey.
our jokester Nadia, she heard me say, oh, well, for one, Jeremy says to me, he is so happy that I am better. I thank you for your love and your support and your prayers too, Jeremy. Decop, hey, Decop. Let's see who else we got. I think I said Melissa. Nadia said something. Oh, Melissa, you heard what I'm saying about the woman where 8 people and her family had Miss Rona knock on their door and they passed. Oh, Nadia was like, Lord, the Vaseline hair, do Jesus. Honey, you gotta do what you gotta do. You do
Mm-hmm.
what you gotta do to slick it back.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy says it's a pleasure meeting you.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Miss B Town. Hey, Miss B Town, she's here for the support as well. So yeah, and yeah, because people, with this pandemic that's going on, and they're also talking about a second wave, Miss Rona. So I guess Miss Rona is gaining muscles like a tornado as it goes through. The more it picks up, the stronger it gets. They said the second wave is going to be really bad, and all we could do is prep for it. There's a pre, during, and post, and hope
Mm-hmm.
you're able to do something pre so you don't have to do the during or the post,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Right.
as far as that goes. So there is definitely a new norm as far as businesses. And Nadia has a business. She has a soap business, which is really excellent. I'm sure the missus will love her soap.
Mm-hmm.
Will love her soap, and everything is natural. And It I believe that her business, she says, I heard her say she is so blessed, but not that I'm wishing anything bad on her, but she's a small business. And when people are not working, there's a good chance that they don't have that extra money to do the little extras. Not saying they won't sacrifice and they won't invest,
Mm-hmm.
but like where they will buy, just to say, businesses like her or small businesses like hers, where they will constantly repeat and buy instead of now they have to do every other month or they have to watch their pennies
Hey,
because they
without
have
doubt,
to pick and choose.
hey, listen, not only small businesses, big businesses too, because you really can't say, okay, on this date we're gonna be good. Can't really say that. You got to watch the data, and that's really the key. And then you got to maybe there's somewhere you can do some things here and there. Also, too, it's meant too that you have to maybe change your business model or at least your delivery methods. It means also too that you have to pick up new skills. I mean, how many people heard of Zoom or even never heard of Zoom before all this stuff started happening? Okay, I've been knowing about you've been using Zoom off and on for about 4 or 5 years, but it really was not a go-to type thing for me. But now many of the meetings I do are going to be are by Zoom. Are going to be by
Yeah,
Zoom.
yeah, because a lot of the meetings are conferences, I believe, from what I was reading. Although here on StreamYard, they do the same thing, and you could do it in the mass, and you could do you could do private. But I think the only difference with Zoom, you can have a certain amount in the conference at one time, like a private, right? Where here they only allow 6 on the panel. I think Zoom has a certain amount you're allowed on the panel. I don't know. I just started looking
Well,
into it, so I really
well,
don't know how that works.
yeah. The way it works is like this: you could have up to 100 people at one time, or you got 300 or 500. Just depends on what level you pay. So that's how that works. You
And
could
it's
have
what? Is it like here they're up on a panel and we could all talk to one another? That's how it goes?
yeah, you can actually have multiple screens. Let's say, for example, you could have 100. Theoretically, you could have 100 people on the screen. But generally, what happens is you got a host that's saying, okay, so Billy Bob wants to talk, so we'll put Billy Bob. We'll bring up Billy Bob. So to be fair, I am I knew about it. I worked it here and there, but I really didn't have to get proficient with it. But now I do because more and more of my things are being done on Zoom. I just had a Zoom meeting on Monday, and I've got Zoom meetings coming up next week. So it's more and more. So again, my point really is you have to pick up new skill sets. The model's changing in terms of how you communicate. You're gonna really see video explode. A lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, wait a minute, I didn't realize I could do that before. Now I could do that." You're gonna see some. Hey, I hate to say it, you're going to see some jobs and businesses go away because they realize they can do other things and operate maybe without all the people that they thought they needed before. So you got all that going on, and I don't know exactly how that brew is going to taste when all is done, but I could tell you that there is a brew that's going on now, and things are going to be a little bit different that
Oh
come out
yeah,
of it.
because you know what? Sincerely yours, Nadia A. We call her Nadia. She said
Mm-hmm.
teachers and schools are using it.
Oh,
So
definitely.
so you figured that if the colleges are using it, it's like having online classes. So that's gonna cut back on the cost, isn't it?
I, maybe. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's say if I can do it on Zoom or online, I eliminate. I don't have to stay on the campus to do that. There's an expense there. I don't have to go away from home to do that. So they have the online thing going. They got that kind of thing going. You've got. You can put, like, for example, the Zoom. You can put up boards and stuff. I just saw here that let's see, somebody just put up, okay, it looks like story time with Shay Johns.
Yeah, that's
Facebook,
Shay.
yeah, Facebook just rolled out the same video service on their platform. Now, listen, you remember a while back, we did the live with Facebook, and I was able to do this stuff in in France. And then for whatever reason, they took it down, whatever. But you know what? Shay Hey, listen, they're gonna stop playing. They're gonna put it back up now, huh? I see. All right. So they say, wait, we better get in. We better get into this because they see people going through Zoom and they already had the technology to do this. So we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, 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 because it's like going to college and you're doing online courses. And that's just what it boils down to because my granddaughter who goes to a HBCU,
Uh-huh.
um, sh- they're looking not to go back to school until I think she said the end of August or September. And that's
Right.
not even sure with that. And every day she gets up like a regular school day and she goes online and she does her classes.
Right. 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 Right.
So, like, Nadia said that the teachers are using Zoom. So there's a whole class and they're looking at the teacher and the teacher's doing and teaching and talking and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like homeschooling.
But you know what? Did I tell you what I told my daughter? I told my daughter, I mean, like, things are a little bit different now, or when she was coming up. I told her, look, once you get to fifth grade, you're on your own. I mean, listen,
You got that
listen.
right. You got that right because this math that they have today, forget it. My granddaughter, the youngest one, showed me, and I looked at her, and the look on my face was like I was looking at Chinese writing. I looked at it, and then she says, "Yeah, right," and I got a test. I said, "Well, the good part about it, we're doing it online
Uh-huh.
or open book. You're more likely to get the answer correct
Mm.
because you could Google, ask questions, it could teach
Oh,
you and
definitely.
stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Where in class, you're sitting there and you're nervous, and I think you're more relaxed online because you can do it at your pace or they'll give you a certain amount of time, etc. Like I have to renew my license, my
Mm-hmm.
driver's license.
Right.
I don't know how they're going to do that unless they send me the thing through the mail and I mail it back and whatever pick and everything I have on file, they'll mail it back to me like they used to do back in the day.
Well, I will tell you that with me renewing my license, I did it on no registration, and I think not my I don't think my license. I think my
Registration you
registration.
could do
I did
online.
that online, but I don't think the license. I did that. Now I see a comment here. Brick and mortar stores are already struggling with that. So so listen to this. All right, let me just. This is something here that I kind of spoke on before, and I did a presentation regarding brick and mortar versus online. This is before the whole situation happened now. But listen to this. See, just like record stores went the way of Water Buffalo, people are buying online. Not to say you can't find a record store, you got to find an enthusiast or what. But see, in my mind, if you have a brick and mortar store, you got to be talking about and create experiences that you can't create, that you can create in person that you can't create online. So, for example, with the record stores, well, you can see somebody online or you can see somebody in person. So if you bring people into the show, so the question, see, really what you got to be asking yourself, and I'm going somewhere with this, is you got to be asking yourself, if you have brick and mortar or you got an in-person type business, then you got to say to yourself, okay, that's good online, but what can I do that they cannot duplicate online? What can I do that they can't duplicate in the video? Okay, so as you know, Blockbuster had a chance to buy Netflix. I
And they
know
didn't
that,
do it.
and I know they were kicking themselves and kicking after they put them out of business first. But in my mind, when that was going out to me, you've got all these people to all these movies. They should have been bringing people into the stores. You know, like so really what I'm really saying is that this our business models and our world is shifting, and it's going to go more and more online, it's going to go more and more video, it's going to go more and more that kind of thing. And if you're going to hold on to your in-person business, and we found out a lot of things that we were doing in person now are are taking hits, then you got to say, well, what experience can I create here in person that you cannot create online? What experience can I create in person that you can't create in the video?
Well, you know something, just sitting here thinking like the movie theaters.
Mm-hmm.
For one, I stopped going to the movie theaters for a lot of different things. Not that
Mm-hmm.
I was afraid of the shooting, because you know they don't do that kind of shooting in the hood. When they're going to shoot you, they'll wait till you walk
Okay.
out and they aim. You know, it's planned and it's directly at you. They don't have some kind of crazy person coming in with a, you know, an M15 or whatever it is and come in and start shooting up people.
Mm.
However, people going back to the movie theater after this pandemic is over is like, I don't see it happening. Why pay 10 or $11 to see per person to see one movie when you could pay $4.99, $6.99, $7.99 a month and have unlimited movies?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you the answer to that question. Again, this is what the people who have in-person businesses have to sell in my mind. Okay, number one, yes, you can watch it on TV or whatever on Netflix or Disney, whatever,
Hulu
kind
or
of,
whatever the ones that they have.
but
Mhm.
you can't see it first. You can't see it when it first comes out. And for a lot of people want to see it first, okay, that's number one. Number two, it's the experience. See, that's what I'm saying. So if you have an in-person business, the thing that where the thinking has to go, especially now that people have found out that they can live without certain things, in-person stuff, is what kind of experience can you create that they can't necessarily create watching a video? What can I what can I what can I do? Okay, so in the movie theater, okay, I'm walking around. Now let's see, you can have food at a movie theater. But maybe instead of, yeah, I could cook it at home, but I want to eat out. So you have theaters that you can order food in. Okay, I want to see it on the big screen.
With
All right.
surround sound, right?
I want to hear the JBL speakers, boom, boom,
I
whatever.
want to hear
I
the
want to see the
explosion,
video.
like I want to experience the explosion. Yeah, I
I
get
want to
it.
hear, yeah, okay. Hey, let's talk about the food. Let's keep it real. That's not necessarily the healthiest food, but you know what? Hey, a lot of people like popcorn made the way they make it in a big bucket like this that costs about 15 bucks. You know, hey, wait a minute. Listen. Hey, let's say you want to go out. You want to take somebody out. Hey, listen. I want to take you out. Let's go watch some Netflix. What? I mean, let's talk about going out to having a dinner. So I'm just saying that the business model is changing, but I'm suggesting to you that people may not run back into your business. So you got to really say, what can I do in person that is that you can't do either over the thing? It's bigger, it's better, it's faster, it's more personal. So I'm just saying that's the thinking, and that's where you got to put the thinking.
All
So
right, Nadia, for one, welcome to the live, Joy. Nadia is saying we are a culture of get it quick. The idea of creating a physical experience is nice, but people want fast access.
okay, all right. So I think that some people do. See, do you know there's people who actually read the newspaper? Can you believe that there's actually people out here who don't have a smartphone? Do you believe there's people out here who don't text? It's like it's almost like a religion. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not steal.
Thou should not text.
Thou shalt not text. So you got a lot of people. Yeah, I think a lot of people do want a quick, fast, in a hurry. But there's also, and I'm just going to make this up here. There's also that crackpot, not crackpot, crackpot uh, audience too.
Now, Stuart Shay says, yes, Dan, come through with the knowledge. Nadia says, I could salute the best, was it? Whoops, wait a minute. I could was saute the best veggies and you can stay in your pajamas. That's the mindset of the people, not all but some. Sincerely says most. And that's how it is. She says, I do. B Town says most. Nadia says, I read every day. I need to feel the paper, but that's my error, not the youth of, not the youth today.
Right.
So that is so true. I don't Let me see who else has entered the room that I didn't say. I know Decop entered the room. Be a Difference Clothing, which is Joy. Thank you. Decop, thank you. I think that's about it, that extras that had entered the room. I thank everyone for coming in and so for the support and listening to what Dan has to say. But yeah, Dan, it's just like, I don't know, it's like a new world. Like, you and I haven't seen each other for a good minute.
Right. Right.
Physically seen, it's been what, about 2 months or more now?
Right. Right. Right.
And we talk all the time, but we used to see each other at least once a week or once every other week
Right.
regarding business. And
Right.
we haven't been able to do that. But you handle with your real estate, you right now you're handling a lot over the phone, correct? All your business.
Phone, email, video chats. Right. But
So
now watch
you
this.
haven't met physically with anybody, even with
No, I've
using a
met some.
mask or anything.
But watch this. Okay, let's say you're talking about, let's talk about my business, an in-person business. Okay, so listen, I can do the paperwork, but at some point, the people got to see the property. At some point, you got to get an appraiser out there to evaluate the property, establish value. At some point, for most people, I'm not talking about investors, you got to have a home inspector look at it. So you got all these things going on that are, or you can't video that, you can't internet that, you can't do so. Like I say, I believe me, and I realize what we're doing now, and believe me, I got the iPhone 11 Pro Max, so I'm on it in terms of the technology. But I'm saying to you, there's a lot of people. So here's where we are. We're in a multimedia society. What I mean by that is that you have to be prepared to communicate by text message, by phone, by email, and by letter, and in person. So you gotta be. I know people. I could call them 20 times in a row, won't answer. I send them a text, boom, instant response. All right, but then I know other people who don't take. Like I just had a guy call right here. This guy doesn't take text messages, but he got a lot of money. But he doesn't do it. It's like no, 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 no. He doesn't do text. Doesn't do email. Doesn't do any of that. But so I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying we're in a multimedia world, and you can say most, you can say, and all that may or may not be true, but you got to be prepared to go in multiple directions, and that's another thing that has come out of what is going on right here now.
Nadia, she likes paper. She likes paper.
Okay.
And
Mm-hmm.
and she loves reading. She loves actually reading. Was basically stating that when Kindle came out, she didn't like it because she likes the feel of paper and reading.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody want to come up on the platform and talk to Dan directly? Shay, would you like to come up on the platform and talk to Dan directly? I'm putting the link right up there.
Mm-hmm.
Nadia, B Town, Jeremy, even if it has something to do with the DJ and anything that you would like to come up and say something to him with, you're more than welcome to. I'm leaving the link there to have it opened up to our people in the chat. Okay. Nadia says she's cooking but almost done. How about you, Shay? Um opening up the I'm opening up the chat. Okay, Shay says she's still working. What about you, B-Town? How about you, Joy? Would you like to come up? Whoever would like to come up and address Dan? Because if not, we're going to close out in about 10 minutes. I'll give it a minute. Well, Dan, are you getting plenty of rest? Or no? Or you find your, or do no
Um,
seriously, or do you find
you know
yourself
what?
working harder because
Okay,
of all this?
okay. Um, I find myself staying up later than I was. Now, I don't know if that's because of what's going on or because I just was keeping crazy hours when I was going out to the events with the Soulful House Nation. My body clock, my natural body clock is second shift. Some people are like
Okay,
morning
Dan.
people.
Hello there,
Hi, we have
Hey,
Jeremy.
how you doing?
Jeremy
Jasmine,
is
Dr. Jeremy. Yep,
Jeremy, how you
not
doing?
Dr. Jeremy. He's a
I'm
DJ.
doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well,
And
doing
I just
well.
wanted to let you guys know, thank you for the praise and everything. I really appreciate it. I'm doing much, much better now.
Yes.
Great.
So
That-
just got to keep it going, of course.
Yeah,
I'm under
Jeremy.
moderating, but it's
Yeah,
doing good.
Jeremy had Dr. Jeremy had us scared a little bit. He took sit and he has nervous, but now he's doing well. So
Great.
Yep.
I call him Dr. J when he's playing his
Okay.
music. So what do you
Okay.
want to talk to Dan about?
Okay, well, I just wanted to know, because of course, all my gigs that I had is all canceled now.
Right.
Um,
Right.
how are you, how are you handling all this with everything going on?
All right. My approach to this has been to stay relevant, stay in touch. What I mean by that is that, because I can't DJ in the public like I was DJing at events, and let me just separate something. I do open set, meaning that for those who don't know what that means, I know you know. I play whatever the audience wants, but personally, I have a thing going, working a niche, soulful house music. Now,
Okay.
I can't attend the events now, but it doesn't stop me from playing. Well, as much as Facebook will allow, you know that. Anyway, so what
Yeah.
happens is it does a couple things for me. Number one, it keeps me sharp. The second thing it does, it keeps me out there in the public. So almost like I'm planting seeds. So I'm planting seeds, I'm planting seeds, I'm planting seeds, so that when it's time to get back to business, they go, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
also I'm introducing myself to people or reintroduce because I didn't know he played, or I didn't know he did that, I didn't know he did that. So right now is a really good time because you got a lot of people home, a lot of people who don't have much to do. I mean, they all Netflixed out or all whatever. How many times can you watch this anyway? But
Right.
they are there's things that they can listen to. So that's what I'm doing now. So I have this Monday I'll be playing. I'll be playing a couple times during the week. I'll be doing some things. So that's what I'm doing. Right. And just just
Okay.
touching base with people. Just touching base with people. That's what I'm doing. Hmm. Yeah. How about you now? You're in
Rhode Island.
from Rhode Island. Now,
Yep.
what style of music do you play?
Well, of course, as you know, this is a smaller state, but it's more into like the we have it in like in Providence and also like in the beaches, stuff like that. You know what I mean? And the reason why I moved out here because everything is closer because of my health issues and of course my vision's not as great. So for me, everything's like closer here. So that's why I picked this state.
But what
And
type
plus,
of
Okay.
I
music, what
and
type of
plus
music do you play?
me,
Mm-hmm.
house music and techno. That's more my thing. Of course, you guys have been hearing the '80s, '90s, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Okay. All right. Well, it's big, and like I say, now is a good time, for people. I mean, you get it. You can get away with some of it, and as long as you don't play it, you put it this way: you improve your
Mhm.
chance of not getting shutting down. if you don't play whole songs, if you speed them up,
Right.
some say pitches slower, pitches faster, remixes, et cetera, et
Yep.
cetera, et cetera. So, but like I
Right.
say, right now is a really good time if you want to do business once this thing goes down to stay
Yeah.
relevant and get yourself out there. That would be my thoughts there. All right.
Well, I also have a partner too because my partner does driving and stuff too. So
Okay. All right.
yeah.
I have there's a guy by the name of Mix Mash who's out of Jersey, I think Newark.
Okay.
He's blind. He's blind.
I'm
So
close to getting there, but yeah.
all right. So I only said that because I just don't ever want you to feel discouraged or feel like the door is closing on you, because it's not.
I don't
It's
feel that
still
way at all. But thank you.
good,
Yeah, I don't feel
good,
that way at all. Yeah.
good, 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 good. Mhm. Wow. Wow.
Well, that's
Proud of it.
great. That's great. Anything else, Jeremy?
No, that's all.
All
Thinking,
right.
excuse the hair, of course. I got to go to the barber shop, you know.
I don't know. Your hair looks pretty good to me. It looks pretty good.
It's clean, so
You
that's all
might
that
end up
matters,
with
right?
a little bit of an Elvis look, but you look good.
Thank you.
Okay, blessings. Bye bye.
Take care, guys.
Okay. All right, Jeremy. Nice meeting you.
We have the world that entered into the live. Thank you, the world, for your support. Thank you for Dr. J, as we call him, Jeremy. I thank you for coming up and giving that support. And I guess that's about it.
All right.
I guess that's about it. So
All right.
I want to thank you, Dan,
Okay.
for coming here live and just giving, your input as being an entrepreneur on both sides of the spectrum.
Could,
You
could
know,
I just,
go ahead.
yeah, could I just share one or two thoughts before I get off?
Sure, sure,
Okay.
sure.
Thought number one is regarding the pandemic. I know you will all use wisdom in terms of when it's time for you to make a move and when it's not. Some of your hands may be forced because they say, okay, it's time to go back to work, and you may be in,
Uh,
huh?
no, you froze for a minute. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, some of your hands may be forced because of the type of work you do. It's considered essential, and or if they say, hey, listen, we're opening back up, and so just just take care of yourself, use wisdom. Second thing is I'm an entrepreneur, and I would encourage everyone to consider being an entrepreneur. The thing about it in the end is that nobody's controlling whether or not I make something happen. Mindset, not wrong or right, just mindset. Entrepreneur, when things get rough, if you're have an employee mindset, and that's fine, then the thing becomes, where can I get another job? If you're an entrepreneur, you say, okay, where can I find another opportunity? And from my perspective, it gives you options. So I commend the people who have doing their side things and that kind of stuff like that. So I commend you on that. And for those of you who are employees, I commend you on that, because everybody can't do what you do. So we're all good. This thing is going to pass like everything else. Also, too, I just would like you to, if you're interested, I'd like you to follow me, check me out. May I say that?
Yes, of course.
Ms. Moore? Okay. I do a show. If you like, I do soulful house music. So that's the original house music that all the descendants, techno, EDM, trance, jungle, all that came out of that original sound. And what I want to say to you is just check us out. And you can find us on Facebook, Soulful House Nation. We have a YouTube channel, Soulful House Nation. We have a website, soulfulhousenation.com. And we have fan pages and groups, Soulful House Nation, Soulful House Nation group on Facebook, on Instagram, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that, and then my final thought is that take care of yourself.
Okay, I just before you go, um S- Shay saying, which is story time with Shay. She's saying, absolutely, Dan. The world said yes, indeed. Talk to him, kid. Jeremy, Dr. Jeremy says facts. The world also speaks again, says, yes, sir, we need our own wealth. The world applauds you. Nadia says, absolutely, with a love heart. The world again says, the world is, he's our jokester. I don't even want to read what he has to say regarding to Shay. But yes, it's SofaHouseNation.com. Here on YouTube. It's he's just we're just starting to build a YouTube page. You definitely will find a lot of Sofa House Nation on Facebook. You'll see a lot of his stuff on Facebook. Let's see. Okay, and I guess that's about it.
Okay.
That's about it. So I thank you, Dan, my
And if
dear
they want to
friend.
contact me, they can hit me up on soulfulhousenation@gmail.com.
There you go. Everything Sofa House Nation, guys. SofaHouseNation.com, Sofa House Nation, gmail.com. On Facebook, it's Sofa House Nation. So everything is Sofa House Nation. Or even if you Google it, it'll tell you all the different things of Sofa House Nation. So, Mr. Shiver, as my friend, as my friend and business partner, much love, and I thank you. Don't go anywhere, okay? Just stay right
Okay.
there. Okay,
Hey,
guys, thank you for
thank
the
you. Thank you very
support.
much.
The last shout outs to all the people: Nadia, Joy, Shay, DJ Jeremy, The World. Let's see who else we got here. B Town, D Cop. Let's see who else we had here. There's some more. Just wait a second. Let me go through it because they were also chatting within the chat here. Let's see. And we had someone from New Zealand tuned in on you, Dan.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And I'll post this later on Facebook and tag you.
Mm-hmm.
And for the replay when it comes up, Melissa, thank you. I said decop. And all those who I didn't mention or had left, I thank you for the support and blessings. And please, knowledge is power. And everyone use common sense in all that you do. All right. Blessings, everyone. Bye bye.